Okay, good afternoon, folks. Hope everyone is well. It is the 11th of July. Market opens in around about a minute's time. We had some CPI news earlier, which was slightly on the positive side. So hopefully, I think you US guys can look forward to some rate drops come September, I think. Better news, shall we say? It's still a bit early yet, isn't it? But it is better news. So, tough one this. I've got my channel like this, which touched perfectly, but a couple of other on Thomas Wade's have got these couple of bars, or these 3 bars, as a break. So it's not sure what to do here. Hey Speedy, how you doing, mate? So tough one. See, if I look at this, look at Taylor's. Well, he's nicked that bar there, but look at Thomas's touch, and there's a clear break there. Someone else's, but on mine it actually fits. So, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? I'm not even sure whether it is a channel, to be honest with you. It may just be a range. It may just, you know, there is a possibility to break new high, one attempt to go lower, second attempt to go higher. And that's quite positive news, but we did recover that. In fact, you can see that gap from there was filled perfectly. If you look from there to the top, right to the wick of that candle, look how perfectly that gap was filled there. So that's interesting. So now let's look at this. If you have had a break there, so let's say there is a break there, okay? So we've had a break. I don't know whether I'd want to go long or short here. I'm not even convinced there is a break, to be honest with you. In fact, I'm not even convinced there is a channel. I put it down there as a possible, but it touches perfectly at the top of that wick, the top of that bar, the body there, and the body there, and the wick there. I don't know. And not only that, it's a bit congested here, so I've got mixed feelings I have about this anyway, so I'm not sure about this. I mean, it could go up. We just could go up a little push up to break new high, a couple of attempts to go lower, but this is interesting. There'll be some longs there and there. Maybe this. I'm not even sure what I'm seeing here. It's a bit congested, so it could mess you around here, so I'll be extremely careful. That looked like it was a big bar, so depending on how you look at this, there may be longs there, there may be even longs there. So whether this is going to continue up or a flush down, I don't know. So I know some on Thomas's site has got that as a break, but that doesn't, it's not reacting like I would expect a break. If we've had a break and we've had a first push down, I wouldn't expect that. So I'm not convinced. Because we, just before that bar pushed up, we filled that gap perfectly, so we could now be pushing back up. So I'm not sure about this. What I am saying is it's congested to hell, so you could end up getting trapped here. Look at that. It's trying to push down, but then it's turning in the last minute. This is just a bit congested here. Let's see what happens. Now it's trapped that bar there. Yeah, I think this is a risky as hell, this. So that bar there has just triggered, and look what's happening. It's starting to push up. And that's not what you want to see. I'm not saying it's not going to, but this to me is more like a first break of this, if it is a channel. It's quite wide. So it's hard to say. If you get a lower high there, you could probably take it, but tough one. See on this channel. Let's have a look. It looks trappy as hell. So look at that. Look at that. Is that going to push up and take out that? Interesting. Yeah, this is dangerous. This is. If you took that, you may get stopped out. Let me have a look there. So depending on how you see that, I know there's a lot of traders. There's a few traders on Thomas Wade's site who've seen that as a break. So leg up, leg up. Are they going to be going short there? I don't know. Let's have a look. I'm leaving that there for now. K3, how you doing? Hey Sam, how you doing, mate? How you getting on? Are you back streaming yet or not? Let's have a look. It's tough what to do here. You could get trapped here, so you got to be ever so careful. Rodian, how are you? Are you back home yet, or are you still on holiday, bud? Not streaming now. I have put up a few videos. I'll have a look, mate. Working at the moment, quite busy. Good on you, mate. Rodian, you back in Oz, are you? Good on you, mate. Good on you, mate. Always nice to go on holiday. I don't know. I love going on holiday, but there's just something nice about getting home, isn't there? I don't know what it is. It's a bit sad, really. Yeah, all good, mate. Taking it nice and slow. I've gone back up to 2 contracts. 1 contract, I'm just taking 2 riskier trades. So yeah, it suits me better. Trading quite well. Well, you really interesting, isn't it? It must be a little bit of a concern because you don't know. You know, when you're in a completely different environment, you don't know how you're going to react. But there was a guy I knew, or I know. I don't speak too much now. He was from Norfolk in the UK, which is kind of over the east to the east. So if you look around the Midlands to the east, and he was a teacher, and he went over to Dubai. Him and his girlfriend. We're going back about maybe 6-7 years ago now, and they did like a sort of a contract for a year to teach English over there. And he came back, and then while he was trading, he'd go backwards and forwards to Dubai just to visit friends. And he said what they would do, instead of booking a week's holiday, they booked 2 or 3 weeks holiday. He'd trade, and his wife would just be by the pool. So sometimes it can kind of pay for an extended holiday, can't it? So, yeah, I don't think it's a bad thing. I mean, the trouble is, at the end of the day, I only trade for about 3 hours maximum anyway. It's not a huge amount out of your day, is it, when you're on holiday? And at the end of the day, usually most holiday destinations you go to, it's bloody hot anyway, so it's kind of nice being in the nice air-conditioned hotel room for an hour or two, isn't it? While your wife or your partner or something is soaking up the sun or spending your money in the shop, shopping. Yeah, so it's hard to say what's going on here. This could be a channel, but I'm not. I think it's maybe slightly untrustworthy. We've literally recovered all that right to the nearest tick. We fill that gap literally right to the tick. If you look where that is, right to the previous day, boom, and we pushed up strong. So we could go sideways, trap some shorts and rock it up. I've got no idea, really. I wouldn't like to guess. If it is a channel, then maybe it's going to come down. But if it isn't a channel, so if I go right from that top there and then right to that next swing, you could say it has a break. Maybe it has. Depends how tight. If you just micro adjust that, see? You can bring that up a little bit and kind of make it fit. So I certainly don't think it's very trustworthy, in all honesty. And not only that, it could be something a little bit tighter. In which case, you could still make a new low. So whichever way you look at it, if it is a channel, you probably expect to make a new low. It's kind of giving that impression, is it? It's kind of dipping, but sometimes it can fool you that way. Starts to dip like that, you sell here, and all of a sudden, boom, it bounces and off it rocks. But this, to me, is looking like it's likely going to go down, but I don't trust it. I've got trust issues. Sometimes when something looks too good, it's often because You know, they say something's too good to be true. It's because it usually is. I mean, it is starting to dip. Perhaps it may go push up, bounce. There may be some liquidity there. After we've filled that gap, see, there may be some buys there and there. But so this could just launch down. But whichever way you look at it, it is dipping a bit, but it's still congested. So I think it's still a bit dangerous to trade, personally. I was with my mother-in-law's house trading. Was you? Yeah. See, I've got a desktop unit in like a spare bedroom with 4 monitors. I've not traded before. Tell a lie. I did trade on a laptop. When I first started trading, I had a MacBook Pro. And I had a version of Windows installed in it. Because at the time, I'm not even sure whether you can trade on a Mac. I don't think you can, actually. But I had a Mac with Windows, and I just bought a couple of monitors, and that's how I kind of got started. And then when I got a little bit more serious, I actually built a computer. I'd never done it before, but I'm quite hands-on, and I like a challenge. So I did a little bit of research, watched a couple of dozen videos, and built one. I built one from scratch, ordered the parts, put it all together, put the software on. It's worked perfect ever since. I was absolutely shocked. You don't expect it to do that first time. I thought for certain there's going to be some issues. There's bound to be. And I was amazed. Amazed it worked. On this chart, it is congested, but I have a feeling this is going to come down because there is going to be a bit of liquidity there, but I'm still staying out of it because I've done this before. But that looks pretty bearish, and if it's going to push down, for me, that is likely the bar that's going to do it. That, to me, is the straw that's going to break the camel's back. But because it still is congested and a bit unclear, I'm staying out of it because it could trick you that. That little dip tends to think, oh, yeah, we're going down, and you jump in, and all of a sudden it triggers you, and wow, up it goes. So I'm just sitting tight here because this market can be damn untrustworthy. And now that bar's triggered and starting to push up, straight away you'd be thinking, oh shit, what have I done? So I just stay out of these now. It is looking like it's going down, but it is still sideways. So it can be very dangerous. And look at that. I'll be amazed if that don't get stopped out. There'll be liquidity there, definitely there. So it'll either do one or two things, push up quickly, or it will eventually come down. Obviously. It only really go up and down. It's going sideways at the moment, so it's only got 2 real options, isn't it? It may come down, it may hold, but you just can't trust this stuff. See what happens here. It is slowly dipping. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to come down. So far, looking on that other chart, you're still in that trade, but I'll be surprised if it doesn't take that out. It may work, but it's trying to. Look. Couple of more ticks and that's out, and that may give it some momentum. Yeah, I thought as much, and up it goes. Taking out that shorts there, shorts there, shorts there, and there, I'd reckon as well. Yeah. So yeah, I can't tell you how many times I've taken trades like that. I mean, look, you think a channel break, we're going to have a new low, so you're just looking for everything possible. So not a massive amount here, but on this other chart, possibly shorts there, that big bar there, maybe there, definitely there, and all of a sudden it triggers the lot of you, and then woof, up it goes and takes everybody out. You got to be so careful when it's doing that, because it's going sideways anyway, but then it's going, oh, look, come follow me, follow me. It's almost sucking in shorts. Come on, we're going down, you're going to miss, we're just going to drop, and people start to see this, and they start to panic, and they start to think they're going to miss out. They jump into a trade like that, triggers you, woof, goes up, takes everything out there. And I think you do get used to seeing that, and you do learn from it. I have. Best way to learn is to lose trades. You get frustrated. It used to wind me up, something chronic, losing trades and getting trapped. I used to hate it. It used to make me crazy. But I'll tell you something. Once you start to see them and you start to think, oh, yeah, I've seen this before. I ain't falling for it this time. And it proves you're right. You start to feel better about it, and you realise all those losses prepared you for staying out of this. Not only that, we've got like a push-up and a sideways, another push-up. So I kind of... I like doing that, because I feel like then I've outsmarted the market. It hasn't sucked me in. But it definitely sucked traders, and I'll show you that. So, you know, we had that big move, didn't we? But we seem to be making constant all-time highs. And looking on the daily, we're actually well above that channel now, aren't we, on the daily? So you just kind of think, well, surely we've got to have a pullback. But then when we get some positive news today, you know, that sort of inflation's kind of stabling out a little bit, getting some stability to it. You know, things are costing a little bit less. I was just watching news on Bloomberg, and then obviously then talking about rate cuts. I think you haven't had any yet, have you? I think you've been promised them for a while, or they've been on the cards for a while. But I think it's very likely that there'll be some in September. So it'd be interesting to see whether the market does act positively and it starts to continue on up, because it's been going up and up and up, isn't it? But you tend to think sometimes what goes up must come down at some point. You've got to have a reasonable size pullback, because we're going up sideways, up sideways, up sideways. We've not had a really good solid pullback for a while. So we've got this leg down, one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher. Are we going to get kind of another leg down? Who knows? Who knows? So, little bearish bar there, little fail breakout, little breakout, which looks like it's failing. It's triggered that as little bearish bar. Maybe some people decide to short that. What happens? Triggers you, pushes up. I'll be amazed if that doesn't break above there and there. There'll be liquidity there for sure. And if it does break above there, then I'd say it's likely going to go up. But until it breaks above there and then there, you know, if we've had that breakout and it's failing, if it starts to fail and then turns and pushes up, for me, there's a bigger channel going on there. So I'm going to put that there daringly and see if it does. Or if it comes down below there, then down here, I'd say. But I like to have these little guesses just to see if price does go where I think it might. Still holding. And also trading around here when we're kind of in the middle, aren't we? We're not down at the lows. We're not down here yet. So possible trap there. Let's see if that pushes up. This to me looks like a little bull flag. Comes down. It's a little failure there. So there's some shorts in there for certain. So there's definitely some liquidity there. Little fail breakout. So we're interested to see if that pushes up. Good morning to you. Not trading in Q. No, I never really traded it, in all honesty. I used to have it there as an anchor chart because they kind of work side by side. But I kind of used it in the end to sort of okay a not so good trade. So I think it kept me out of a few trades in the end. So it's just one of those things you try. And I changed my mind in the end. I kind of use it as an excuse to get into a poorer setup, I think, really. So, yeah, I decided to bin it. It's very fast moving, isn't it, the NQ? I kind of like this. It's a little bit more sedentary. And I am part of Thomas Wade's Discord as well, and I think most of them trade the S&P there. I know Thomas does, I know Marco does, I know Taylor does. So yeah, I think you need to be a little bit more manly to trade the NQ. It's a little bit more quick moving for me, I think. Scares me. So, are we going to push up? I think we may do. So, we had this little bit of sideways. It looks rangy, I think. It's fair to say. A little breakout, which came back in. Only got so far down. Bounced 3 times on that midline and pushed straight back up. So, maybe this is just a couple of attempts to push higher, and then maybe we'll come down. Who knows? But I'm leaving that line there just to see how it reacts. Sometimes it'll go up, come down, and go up. So that bullish bar hasn't triggered. Yeah, it's quite a bit different, this other chart, actually. It's not often that different. It's a little bit less clear, the smaller chart is. So a couple of touches there. Let's see what happens there. That's interesting. We could get a lower high here and trap the long. So it is actually a second entry long, that. But I'm just staying out of this at the moment. I want a little bit more confirmation we're going up than just that. If this finishes above the line, then I'd say there is I'm getting a little bit more confident. but it could trigger yet and come down to the bottom. So even if it's bullish, I'm staying out of it. I mean, this is just guesswork, really. Call it pre-prediction or whatever you want to call it. If that breaks below there, I'll ditch this. It's more just out of curiosity, really. Now that is interesting. 3 little taps there. That finishes bullish. Go on, push up. Bit more, bit more, bit more, bit more, bit more. Not enough. No, I don't trust it now. This to me looks like this may trap longs. Second entry long. Bars and naff. I just don't like that triple top, triple bounce. Maybe it is going up. It's a bit wide, this. Maybe it's just trying to tackle this again. Could possibly be a triple test. 1, 2, 3 attempts to go higher. Trouble is it's congested, so it's a little bit more dangerous. I don't like that. The EMA is flat, it's sat on that line. If it gets below there, then it may push down. Now, let's see what happens here. If it continues down, I'd say, yeah, triple test. It looks like it now, to be honest with you. I can't see that pushing up now. Not when it's broke below there. There'll be liquidity down there. But it is sideways, so it's just extra risky, so I'm staying out of it. It actually is a failure. I like the fact that it's triggered that. That's one good thing about it, but it is sideways. Trouble is, it's giving us this same picture that we're getting there, slowly downwards, and that can sort of draw your eyes to the lower side and encourage you to go short. There'll be some liquidity there, and quite likely there, so we could get another push up. It gets above there, then I'd say I'm looking for the midline then. I don't like it. Okay. If you had any there, you may put them there, but I think it's likely. I'd like to see that push up above here and clear out them stops. There's liquidity there. And if it does do that, it may start to work higher because there's a load up here. It's hard to say really at the moment. You could say 1, 2, 3. This is the triple test, but I don't think I'd like to go short here because what I will say is there's going to be a lot more shorts in this than longs really. So I think it likely that's going to push up above there. So basically to the midline, it's going to for sure. Okay, it hit that line there. That's interesting how it sold off there. So I'd say there's some stops there. A little bit of protection there, the way that hit that same level and then dropped. So I don't know, maybe people sort of a leg down, one leg up, second leg up. People shorts pushing that down. I like the fact that that turned pretty quick. But I'm still, well, let's turn it back now, but I'm just staying out of this because that's a danger zone to me. We got a matching high. I'll be surprised if that holds. It was interesting though, it went right up to a matching high and dropped, so there was definitely some sell orders there. Whether it'll be enough to hold it, but this looks like it's going in one direction to me. Excuse the boy band pun. Let's see if this one triggers. It's got to break that level, surely, isn't it? Liquidity there we go. A little bit of a pop there. There was definitely some short stops there. So same again, giving you the impression we're going lower. Pushes up, takes out loads of stop. Gives you the impression we're going lower. Pushes up, take out. See, there's a lower high there and a failure there, trapping some longs. Very easy to get into a trade like that. And then all of a sudden it turns. So if you got on a tick below there, you'd have got a point, I think, because you've got to push through, but no more. So where do we go now? So have you got a channel with a break, a little bit of sideways, one leg up, 2 attempts to go lower, higher, and then we push down. So are we now going to work down that way? It's hard to say. We've had 2 legs up. There is going to be liquidity up here. It's just hard to read at the moment. Where's the bottom? Here, there, or here? It's a bit sideways and a bit choppy. I used to take trades in this all the time and just get massacred. I'd have taken that one for sure because I'd have said failure and I'd have lost it. On this chart up here, that one I mentioned there, I'd have taken that for sure. And this one, thinking we're coming down. There you go. Lovely bar, beautiful. It's going to rush down there, triggers you, stops you out. So you do get wise to getting caught out in them. Yeah, so for me, I think now we're going up. I mean, there's a leg and a leg. If it triggers above that, it's still possible it could come down, but I'd expect to pull back anyway. So let's give it that anyway. So we got a leg and a leg. It could still start to work down. So we got a channel. It depends how if there is a bigger channel, you could say we got to break 2 attempts to go higher and then working down. So it could still come down. So we have had a measured move. That's too risky to go long there for me personally. It's a bit in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, you don't want to be going along there. Yeah, that big bullish bar there is asking to be stopped out. If I took that trade, I'd expect to lose that because it's kind of in the middle of nowhere. Okay. Couple of legs down, bounce off this, take out the short off that long, and then hopefully continue on up. I think it's light. Oh, my thing's fluttering on and off today. My rhythmic is a little bit, just keeps disappearing. Come on down, give us a second entry long, bounce off that and a wider channel up. Okay, so it took out that bar, thought it might do. We want a nice little bounce on here, 2 legs, and then up a little bit wider. I'd say maybe something like that. Couple of legs down, maybe a bit steeper. One, two, need something else for a triple test, ideally to break below there again. That's interesting. So we've had a first entry on this, the other chart. So let's put that like that. Could even be a break. May have come too far, actually. Didn't expect that much of a drop. Maybe it is just a failure. That's interesting. That actually looks a lot better on this chart. See if it triggers and comes down. See, depending on how you've got your chart, there's a lot of support along there. We've sat on top of there. So this will either go up or trigger that one, which it has, and stop out there and come down. The latter, I'd say, by the sounds of things. It's tempting short there, but the bar's too big. No. May work. Trouble is, that to me, if it is a bigger channel right at the bottom, so it may come up a bit higher and take out that, so I'm staying out of that. So leg down, 2 attempts to go higher. This is coming down for me for a second leg. That's what I believe now. Well, I say I believe. I think it's certainly a possibility, shall we say, rather than I believe. It's just interesting. We've had this big spike up from the news and we've recovered it all. We've made one attempt, second attempt. It's hard to say, really. If this is a bigger channel, we've had a break and we've made 2 attempts to go higher, which has failed and pushed down. So the way this is running along the bottom tells me this is quite bearish. Ooh, that cleaned out something. There's definitely something below there which we hadn't been at before. Just a quick pop down there. So that's taken out liquidity. There could be some more there. So is this going to take out liquidity? If it does tend to have an overshoot and takes out liquidity, then it often pops out in the direction for a deeper correction or a reversal. I tend to like the idea of this, I do. So I think we're just going to have a deeper correction and a wider channel down. Let's just purely call it an educational guess, but that's pretty much what it is. So I think we'd have a pullback here. before we take that out, if we do. So on this chart here, took out there. There's probably going to be some longs buying that after the breakout from here, which is triggered. If that comes down and takes that out, likely take out this area as well. I wouldn't want to take that first one because a lot of the time with an overshoot, it will start to come back, go down, break the lows of this again before it pushes up. So that to me is risky. Now hopefully will that take this low out as well. It hasn't yet, but I think it may do. Or are we going to get a bigger pullback before we do? That's continuing on down, that is. So I'm going to put that there. So below there, a little bit more. Little bit more. Or would you stop go below there if you bought there? Maybe. So quite likely a larger leg. And a second leg down. Leg and a leg. Okay, bouncing. Let's have a look, see what happens. I'd like to see that break the low of the day. This is starting to look very bearish all of a sudden. Okay, so we broke the low of the day. This is definitely a second leg down for me, so whether it will get all the way down, I'll be surprised if it doesn't. This is looking pretty bearish for me. I think this is going to continue on down, certainly to here or close to it. Whether we have a little break or not, that's what would be my target if I was going to take a guess. See how this one ends. I wonder if it's the start of this so-called big drop. Yeah, this thing just wants to go down, doesn't it? Okay, let's get this right. Beautiful, right to the tick. Boing. So, pull back. So, perfect measured leg. So I wouldn't expect it to come down anymore just yet without having at least a decent pullback. So another bounce on here. So, depending on how you see that channel, we may have already had a break on 1, 2 pushes down to a new low. I've just gone from there to there. So maybe a break, 1, 2 pushes down to a new low. So, leg and a leg. Maybe a bigger channel there. Won't come down any further, you'll knacker me channel. So I'm going to take that down a bit. Why did I have to do that? It was looking so good. We could get a really big pullback. We've hit all-time highs, all-time highs, all-time highs, all-time highs, and then a big spike up. I know Al Brooks has been talking about a big 10% correction. So whether that'll happen or not, who knows? He knows, I don't. Well, it's certainly the biggest push we've had for a while, isn't it? I think we needed it. What are we down here at the moment? 42, 43 points. So that's the biggest drop we've had for a while. So this thing, is it just continuing down? Do we just go wider? Maybe it is. Wow, someone on Thomas Way's Discord is went short up here and is still holding a runner. That's what you want. Jizzy up, I can't tell. It's only on one contract. He's on one contract though, from about here to there. So 20 points. Nice. That's what you want, a runner, isn't it? Okay, so I had it there. We had a break, 2 pushes down to a new low. So let's see what happens here. In fact, it's probably safer to just leave it like that for now. That is the type of channel where when you get a bullish bar in there, if you just sell it, it works. Bullish bar, sell it, it works. So, break, new low. So that channel on the smaller chart there fits nice, and we've had a break there, 1, 2 pushes down to a new low. On this chart, we've only like had one break and one push down, but maybe that's a second attempt. So where do we go from here? Leg and a leg. We come down and have another test, or do we push back up? No. That measured moves more than played out, so we can get rid of that. Let's see if we make a few attempts to go higher. Could then continue down. So if we can hold a range a few times, I may look for a short there. Okay, so far so good. Let's get that neat. Little lower high there. That's interesting. That's very tempting. Big bar though. Ooh, it's a big bar. Yeah, this is what I like, see. I put that on and Taylor put on the same thing straight after me. That's what I like there, see. I've got some reference to what other traders are thinking, see. That's the difference between you guys and me. You guys can see my chart and you've got a sort of reference to compare to yours. I haven't, so I'm kind of screwed.
Order submitted.
Oh, that's very tempting. Very tempting. Lower high, but I don't like the bar. No.
Order cancelled.
Definitely not. May still go down. Depends. I haven't got a good bar on this other chart either, to be honest with you. I'd like another attempt. I consider this maybe as one or possibly one. Let's call this one attempt. This is a second attempt at pushing up. Risky fell second entry short. If one appears, it may go up, but I'm just sitting tight here. I'd like another attempt at this low because it's so bearish at the moment. There may be a larger channel starting to rear its ugly head. So look how nice that finishes there. So I'm not saying it is, but for me, it's a likelihood of a bigger channel down. So see if we can get a triple test. I mean, it could be completely wrong. We've had two pushes down, a retest. We could rock it up. But at the moment, until we get above this and close above it, me no interested. Okay, that might change things. Two attempts to go higher. Still not ready to go long yet. Could be something like that. See. Okay, let's see how this reacts. Leg and a leg. If it comes down, bounces and goes up, it's going up. Still a bit early, I think. Bit premature, that. What I will say, channel down with a break, two pushes down to a new low, a retest, push up, pull back, push up, see what happens. I'll leave one chart like that. I'm sorry about the cracking, that's my chair. I'll leave one like that and do the other one like this. So it could be either or, really. Possibly a little bit rangy there. So the bottom is, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches there. So leg and a leg. Could come down some more. Could be a fail. Could be a break out of this. It may fail. It may partially fail. Bounce here. Excuse me. Push up. Who knows? See if we trap some shorts here. Okay, so this may be failing, so let's bin that. There may be a bigger channel, leg and a leg, it's always possible. Not ready to go short or long here at the moment. I don't know where it's going. Could come down, could go up. Now it's pushed below here. I'd like it to have a couple of attempts to go higher, and then I may consider going long, short, sorry. Okay, excuse me just for a quick second. Take a quick bathroom break. I'll just be a quick minute. Okay, I have a feeling this is going to be a bearish day. Let me just check. There's no possibility of a larger channel there, and it could go higher. Because if it is that, I don't want to be going short there. So a leg and a leg, and then a strong push back straight through that EMA. I think there's a good chance we could test this bottom. I'm just going to get rid of that larger channel because it might just affect my choice. In fact, I'm even going to bend that. Break, to push it down to a new low, retest 2 legs up. Yeah, I have a feeling this could come down a bit lower. Too risky to go short there, it's congested. So look, so 1, 2, 3. Maybe we get a triple test here to go short. It's pushed strongly through that AMA, so I think there's a good chance we're either in a bigger trend, a bigger channel, or we're going to target these lows again. Some strong buying off there. Technically a failure, but that's just too risky. Way risky. Too risky, that. You could say 1, 2, 3. It could be a triple test bounce to go up. That's a little bit too far for that EMA for me. Well, a hell of a lot too far. So that to me has got risk written all over it. May drop. That's pushed down a little bit further than I thought it might do. So that one sucks you in. If you don't take that one, you take it now, you think, yeah, we go, there's a bearish bar, triggers you, turns around, stops you out. Can't tell you how many trades I've lost like that. I'm not saying it's going to, but we do see that a lot. If you don't take that one, it gives you another little teaser. It tries to suck you in, and then it triggers you, and then goes like that. I'm not saying it will, but I've lost a load of accounts like that. Trades like that. This is really starting to look like a bearish day. Not only that, I love the way those two bars bounce right on that midline. We got a leg up, two bounces right on that midline, and then right up. Is that coincidence? Maybe. So we got a leg down there with a break and a new low. Correction. Strong push through that AMA. Trying to even... I was surprised that didn't get stopped out. That one or that one, that tells me it's quite bearish. Yeah, this thing is just going to continue down, I think. We're going to have a big move today. I wouldn't be surprised. Leg down correction. We've broken the lows. It's weird, isn't it? We get some good positive news from the CPI data and we get quite a big move down. I don't know, is that what happens? You tend to think it's going to be the opposite way, don't you? Maybe not. These bars are starting to get quite sort of stacked but slowly downwards like this is starting to look like I mean, that is a strong trend, isn't it? And then we have a correction slice straight through that EMA. You couldn't quite touch it. So we tried a couple of times there. I thought for sure that was going to get stopped out. That just tells me that it's really bearish. Love the way it pushed up and then bounced twice off that midline, then straight to the top, if it is the top. I'm just kind of guessing type thing, but that's how the channels tend to work, don't they? When we get a larger channel, we want to push down there, break new low, correction, and then continuation down. And a good question: if you trade Apex in the United Kingdom, where do you have to pay tax? Well, if you're paid by Apex, you're classed as a contractor, so you will just pay normal UK standard tax as an earner in the UK. If you trade your own account, I believe it's considered capital gains, so you pay a different tax band. I haven't paid any tax yet. I've only just really hit break even. So I'll be obviously monitoring my trading throughout this next year, and then I'll obviously submit a tax return accordingly. But yeah, I believe if you trade for Apex, you just class as a contractor, and they pay you, so you pay normal tax, obviously minus any overheads, computer equipment, a little bit, to the room you trade in, electric, bits and pieces like that. I think trading is one of the very few jobs. There's not many jobs that have little or no overheads once you've got a computer and internet connection. Obviously, you've got payments for your evaluations, but I haven't paid anything to Apex now for 5 weeks. So my overheads really are very little. There's not many jobs where you have that little overheads. So it'll be interesting to see when we come into close to this line here. But I kind of like the way it's working nice there. So yeah, you'll just submit a tax return at the end of the year, self-assessment, how much you've earned, how much you've spent, and then you'll get a tax bill. Unless you want to flee the country, you may not get a tax bill then. I know a lot of traders or financial guys, when they start to make a lot of money, tend to disappear abroad. Your money from a computer. Why pay 40% tax in this country and earning some decent money? When for the price you pay tax, you can live comfortably in a tax-free country, can't you? Okay, see, so we got down 2 legs up. See if we get a second entry short here. I'm still a bit on the fence about this channel. Yeah, no, you don't. You don't pay tax in the US. Yeah, no, you don't. No. I believe if you're a US citizen and you go to somewhere like Dubai, you're still liable for a certain amount of tax in the US. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I've heard that. But obviously, as a UK citizen, if you go to a tax-free country, there's no tax to pay in the UK. But I'm pretty sure. But yeah, no, you're fine. You're fine. No, you don't earn any money in the US, do you? You earn it over here, so no, you're all good. So I'd like to see a little break above this, giving us a second entry short. So that looks like a little spiking channel itself. 2 pushes up. One leg. Push up. I mean, I could be completely off the fence here. There is always that possibility of an even larger channel. Like that. That's always a possibility. But I'm just playing this short-term stuff at the moment. We got a little spike in a channel down here with one attempt to go high, second attempt to go over. There is a bearish bar on this chart. But it is a little bit congested. It's 11 ticks, that is. I kind of like it, though.
Order submitted.
It's gone without me in it. Yeah, it's going to target that down there. That's a shame. It's
Order cancelled.
there. It was a doji on here. I only really looked at the chart above. But I got my order and it kind of went without me. So I'd have gone for 2 points there at the bottom, cleared out that bit of liquidity, so clearly worked. This to me is starting to look like a really bearish. It's kind of looking really bearish, this is. So that one I missed, which is a shame, because I got 2 points off that. Out of the lows, taking out any little bit of liquidity there after breaking these lows. Who knows, it may go up, but for me, this is looking quite bearish. We're working down here. See what happens here. We've started down here, but it is a little bit early because if you look at this channel with the break in the new low, we could just be clearing out this and then off in that direction. But just not ready to go long yet. I can't trust this as a break of this channel because I'm not even a massive fan of it, in all fairness. What I will say is that looks more like a spike and channel to me. So actually, I like that channel with a break. See if we get a lower high here.
Order submitted.
Something about that I don't like. Is it me being paranoid? Oh, I don't like that. This is giving me the willies, this is.
Order cancelled.
Oh, I've been stopped out of trades like this before. It's gone too far from there. That is risky. I hope it works in case anybody's in it. But there's something about this I don't like. I'd rather have the failure because I have a feeling that's going to get... maybe not. Maybe it's me being paranoid, but I've taken trades like this before. And they've knackered me, so I have a bad feeling about this. $2. I'm so glad I didn't take that because I do not like it. But it is quite bearish. Sometimes they just work. Yeah, it worked. Has it gone for 2 points though? I don't know. I've had a lower high like this before that I've got stopped out on a couple of times. And it just gave me a bad feeling. There's my 2 points. It would have had it. How big is the bar? See, it's 3 1/4. I'm not risking $325 times 10. When I have a bad feeling, I trust me feeling and usually saves me neck. All tax over a certain amount if you're a US citizen, giving up citizenship not to pay tax. Yeah. And one and done for the day. Good on you, mate. I took the lower high right before the big move. Good on you. It is working. I think, yeah, I just don't like the way it did that. I'm glad I stayed out of it because I've taken a trade like that before, and we've had a leg up, and another leg up, taken that, and then it's come down. But it is starting to look like a real bearish day today. So let's put that there and then see where this. Just want to see where it gets us. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't think that big one. So it would have worked comfortably. There's no argument it's a bearish day, put it this way. We've had 2 big moves down. We had a couple of legs up and a leg and a leg. So that'll take us down to there. I think I wouldn't be surprised if we had a massive move today. I wouldn't be surprised if we sucked up 100 points today in the slightest. So look, what we're down so far. Okay, we're down just about 50. That's a lot of support around here, so that would take us where? Yeah, that would take us the best part of 80 points to get some of that. Yeah, this is looking very bearish, this is. It's funny that Thomas Way's just put that on. I just did that a minute ago. And Thomas Way's just put that on. Weird, isn't it? I just put that on and then deleted it. He's just put that on from there. So it just goes to show I like it when he thinks the same as me. Or vice versa. I think it's the same as him. So maybe it is a bit of a spike in a channel. Certainly possible. There's a bunch of possibilities here. Someone else has put the larger channel down. I mean, obviously, there could be an overall larger channel, but this for me is looking very bearish. And funny if that sits there. So I think there's a bunch of channels going on here, but this to me is looking very bearish. But depending on where we are here, I think we've got to be due for a big pullback here. NQ on the daily chart has formed a nice second entry short after the price. Maybe more down days expected. Well, Al Brooks thinks we're in the market for a 10% shift. A 10% shift down. We should know what he's talking about, shouldn't he? But I don't know. What do I know? But this is kind of marking its territory, isn't it? So, yeah, a few other people are marking that as well. It's nice to see other charts as well, because it just, you know, if I've got that and I notice there's 3 or 4 others got the same chart, it just gives me that little bit of belief that I'm looking, you know, along the same lines. So that lower high on the smaller chart would have worked. But I'll tell you something, I've taken trades like that before. It's had quite a strong push already below that EMA, and we're at the top of this. So if I have that like that, from the touch, I like this because it's working as like a 2-tiered channel. We had a push down, working this bottom tier, push up, working the top tier with a break. Sometimes you get a leg and a leg. It'll take that stop up, come to here, and then work down. But this seems bearish enough. But we had a couple of dojis, so there was a little bit of mixed feelings there. Do we go with it, or do we, you know, have a little bit of a pullback? And it tended to just continue on down. But that to me was still a bit of a risky trade. And it was 3.25 points with a tick below, and I ain't risking 10 times that, $3,500 on a trade that's making me think, oh, I don't like this. So, and not only that, look how that's bounced twice there. Once there, twice there. Yeah, you've got to take that into consideration, haven't you? So, this is, ideally, this is where you wanted to go short, right up at the top. This doesn't fit as nice, this one. It doesn't fit as nice, this one. In fact, let's leave this one off. Let's look at this as a more in the detail. So we've had a nice measured leg, and if it is a bigger channel there, it's running right along that bottom. So we've got a channel with a break and a new low. Channel, break, new low. Okay, measured move made out. Yeah, see, you don't really want to be going long when it's like this. But you don't want to be going short here either, do you? Especially when it's riding along here. I mean, we could just completely tank, but it's just against all principles, really, to go short into that lot, isn't it? So you tend to think, really, the chances are it's going to move up, but because it's so bearish, it's absolutely pissing down here in the UK at the moment. We've had a horrible summer. Yeah, see, looking at this, there's two legs up. A little second entry short there, but you don't really want to be going short there, do you? I mean, it may come down, but looking at it, it's complete madness. You never know. Test. Do you really want to go short into that? Doesn't make you feel all warm and fuzzy, does it? That's interesting. Yeah, Thomas Wade has still got that channel. I have put it on once or twice, but got rid of it. He's got that channel. Trouble is, we touched the bottom there, but look what's happening. We're moving away from it, so it's not filling me full of it's not filling me full of confidence. Nah, it just doesn't work for me, that. Not we've got all this. No. Uh, no. Okay, excuse me a sec. Just got a parcel coming. Okay. Oh, dear. It's hard to read this really. Even on Thomas Way's Discord, there's a mixture of pictures. Thomas Way's got it from here to here. But that's showing a break. It's only got, there's not a brilliant touch there and only one touch there. So that for me just doesn't work. I don't know, he's got that. He's got that touch in there and there. Touch in there and there. And it's kind of in the middle of nowhere. Oh, I don't know. I don't think I've got a lot of faith in that. I mean, it's certainly dropping. There's no argument there. Let's try on this one. See if it looks any better on here. Yeah, he's got that channel there. Well, I don't know, maybe it is. It's just not filling me full of sort of confidence. Tell you what, let's leave the top chart, or the one on the left. Now, Thomas Wade's got it. And keep this one as the largest. It pushed up to an area, didn't it? Pushed up strong and then just dropped really quickly. Rhythmic flashing off and on again. So they've stopped. They've stopped this, haven't they? The Discord. They've stopped it. They're just putting a couple of posts on it. They put one on last night before last. But they've stopped people making comments. They're just using it for advertising it now. I think they ended up getting slaughtered. So they just use it just for adverts now, but they've stopped people commenting on it. Can't comment. I think they just seem to get hammered. I don't think they liked all the comments all the time. There is what looks like a bit of support along there. I wonder if we're going to go a bit sideways. Pushed up and bounced once, twice, 3, 4 times. Trouble is, if we get a second entry short here, I don't know if I want to take that. Not only that, if you look on this channel, we are definitely hitting something, aren't we? I'd want to trap along here, and there's nothing I can see really at the moment that interests me in even considering a short. You've got to take a long here, someone thinking that we're going to be pushing up. This is only looking bearish at the moment, so when it's like this, people just aren't buying. The only thing left is the sellers. One, 2, 3, 5. Is that anything or nothing? Okay, I'm going to let it sort itself out. I'm just going to take a quick 5-minute break. Make a cup of tea. I will be back. Be about 3 to 5 minutes. Thing doesn't want to stop, does it? Well, I had a feeling. We get a big move down. So, tough one. So this one that Thomas Wade has marked, it's bouncing here, so it's interesting. Let's put that there and lift that a fraction. And put that to there. The lower the day from, so the overnight lows, overnight highs, if you want to call them that. It was actually CPI data, there's more, but right from the top to the bottom, look at that. So this is a fair old move. So I think we're going to get some support around here somewhere. But we are due a good pullback. So how far have we come down now? So 60. I wouldn't be surprised if you had a couple of legs up and then another leg down. I wouldn't be surprised. Wouldn't you be shocked? So I've got two schools of thought here. This slightly shorter one and a larger one. So okay, so this is still holding. Trouble is, we are well overdue a good old shank. Yeah, you're not wrong. I know Al Brooks was saying he thinks we're due a 10% drop. It's quite a lot, 10%, but you just never know. I mean, we've been going up and up and up, up and sideways, up and sideways, up and sideways. So every day we've been hitting new highs, all-time highs, and after that big, it's weird, isn't it? You have really good news from CPI data, all of a sudden market tanks. It's kind of not what you'd expect, really. You think they're going to rocket up, wouldn't you? Positive news. But yeah, we can only go up so far. If you look on the daily, we're well overextended, aren't we? Right above this channel, so we're due back. I wouldn't be surprised if we see 100 points today, not in the slightest. But I'd like, now we're getting this, I'd like to see a decent correction before we push down some more, I think. But yeah, we are due a good drop. So just when you think it couldn't go down any lower there, look, woof, and some more. Trouble is, once you start getting down to these areas, you're too scared to go short. But then you come back in half an hour, we may be down here. I wish I could find a channel that I really liked. I think the one up the top, actually, that Thomas has, is not too bad, actually. It's holding there. So we do need a little bit of a couple of legs up, don't we, before we think about getting short. It's just, I know sometimes when it's just really bearish, kind of wherever you get a big bearish bar, you go short, it works, but you just can't take it really, can you? You can't really go short here, I don't think. I can't personally. See what happens now. See, if I do nothing, the thing's going to tank. The second I get into a trade, I guarantee it will reverse. So 2 little touches on there. We've got to get a correction, surely. There's a little double bottom there. Now let's have a correction. Come on, get up for God's sake. We can't short there. There's nothing you can do here, really. May continue down, but you could say that's a triple test, but I don't want to go short into that. It's just against everything that... it's just against my old beliefs, going short into that. I mean, it could absolutely just keep coming down, but I don't see how I can short that close to the bottoms. And not only that, this kind of looks like it's Shannon. We've had a break. We've made a new low anyway, so... Hey, Tech, how you doing, buddy? No trades yet, mate. Considering we've had such a big down move, but yeah, nothing yet, bud. Trouble is, when it goes down so far, you're kind of almost scared to go short, aren't you? You think it's going to go back, and look, down again, down again, down again. Guarantee the time I get in, it'll decide to reverse. Kind of the further it goes down, the more chance you think it's going to go up, but sometimes it works the opposite way, doesn't it? Whereas anything I was looking at, in fact, there was one I looked at, but I left it in the end. Where was it? It was a lower high. I can't remember what it was now. Was it on this chart here? Where was it? That one there. That lower high there. Trouble is, I've taken trades like that before as a lower high, but it's actually gone quite a distance, to be fair, and sometimes we'll get a break, take out the liquidity there, couple of legs up and then down again, so I left it. But it's such a bearish market that just seems no matter what you're taking, it's going down, you take it there, it's going down, you take it there. I mean, that far for the EMA went down, same again, went down. So it's that bearish, but the trouble is, I know Max says sometimes when it's that bearish or bullish, every time it comes back to the key entry point, go short, but I can't kind of bring myself to do that. When I've been trading 10 years and maybe with a nice big fat bank account, then maybe you can take a little bit of a risk and go short in a really strong trending market. But at the moment, I mean, look at this. I don't see how you can go short there, really. You could say that's a triple test, and it did work, but it's going sideways, and it's right at the very bottom of this. I mean, we can't continue down much more, I don't think, without a decent correction. But who knows? What do I know? So it's come down 65, 66 points so far. I wouldn't be surprised if it comes down a lot more, but I'd like to see a decent correction first. If we can correct 15 points and then come down another 50 points. The trouble is, if you kind of ignore everything and just see this as a channel, we've still had a break in a new low, so you can't go short. Even if we hadn't had this big bearish move. It is, mate. You just can't do nothing here, can you? I mean, the thing is just the plunge, but I don't see how you can. I mean, well, just sort of look at it as a separate piece. It's part of a bigger picture, isn't it? That's the thing. Trouble is, I mean, it's such a bearish day. It just keeps going down and down. But I've done this before. You decide I don't want to miss anymore, and you go short, and that's when it starts to correct market. It's almost like the market's watching you, or is that me being paranoid? But I've done that before. You know, a couple of years ago when I was doing stupid things. You think, oh, I'm just going to go short, and the one time you do, you can sit and watch all of this. If you do nothing, it keeps going down, but the one time you decide to go short, it turns back up, kicks you in the bollocks, continues on down some more. See if we get rid of that. Yeah, well, if there is a steeper channel down there, that's just not right, is it? Let's see if there is something a little bit easier to read. It's got to be that, isn't it? Gotta be that. Let's have a look. Yeah, that big chart. We'll be waiting for a month for it to get up here otherwise. Let's say a spike and channel, touch. Trouble is that an overshoot? Maybe an overshoot, which may mean a bit of a correction. That's a more manageable channel, I think. The other one is just too big, I think. I mean, if we were trading it more intraday trading rather than scalping, then the bigger chart maybe you know, short here, take it down the bottom, but sort of smaller short-term scalping. I don't think we need to bother ourselves too much with a larger channel. Otherwise, you'll be waiting for a couple of weeks for it to get up here before you can short it. But that looks like an overshoot to me. Touching nice. That's probably the biggest 3 candles in a row we've had. Well, for quite a while, put it that way. Well, since here. So that to me is an overshoot. They are relatively sizey candles compared to everything else. But it may just turn over and come back down. We need a correction. Come on, don't just go down now. Come on, we need a bigger correction. Come on, push up. That's looking a little better. We needed something. So, is that an overshoot? I think it probably is. We're touching here. We're touching along here. That for me is an overshoot, and why we've had a bigger pullback. But what's going to happen? Are we going to get maybe a leg and a leg, and then a leg and a leg, and another leg and a leg, something larger? Yeah. Thomas Wade's just put that on. So he's got that down as an overshoot. So yeah, sorted. That's what we needed. Don't do this to me now. No. Bloody move. Move you in the thing. There we go. Yeah. Someone's saying they'd be open for a fail second entry short above the EMA. I don't think I'll be going. I'll be going. Fail second entry short. I don't think I'll be going long anytime soon, especially at the moment. Leg and a leg. We could just get a correction and come back down. Yeah, like Max says, they write the news to fit the market. The news tonight, market plummets after positive CPI data. Crazy, isn't it? Mind you, we are overbought. We need a correction anyway, don't we? We got to have one. Can't keep going up. A correction in a market is perfectly healthy, isn't it? So I'd like to see a bigger correction than that, really. But in my opinion, you just can't buy here, really. Although I do expect it to go up a little bit more, maybe. So we got a leg and a leg. That bar's been triggered. Are we now going to have a lower high? Can't take that. EMA's flat's above the EMA. No idea what it's going to do here. We could have a bigger correction. There's a small one. But I wouldn't be shocked if we had a larger one. So that to me is suicide. We got to get up here. So that short for me is going to get taken out. There is a higher low there, but the trouble is, I just, like Max says, don't fight the market. Don't go against the market. Don't short. Don't long in a big downtrend, counter trend trade. Rather, there's a word I'm looking for. Trouble is, after that, we expect a bigger correction. But is that a big correction? It's the biggest correction we've seen for a while, isn't it? I think, or the most obvious one since here. I think. Maybe a failure there. That's a bit stacked to me. It may go down. It's such a bearish market. I wouldn't be surprised if it did. I just can't take it at the moment because we could have two legs up, a little bit of sideways, and something bigger, one leg. So for me, a short here just at the moment is risky as hell. The EMA's flat was sat more or less on the EMA with the exception of that little bit. Just can't do nothing at the moment. It's going a bit sideways. In fact, the whole thing's a bit sideways. Someone's just posted that, thinking about it. So, yeah, I'm just not ready to go short just yet. I need a bigger correction for me before I'm going to think about getting into something. It is frustrating though when you see this big move down, but what can you do? Often when we have these big trendy markets, we don't get sod all. Okay, let's zoom out and have a look. So let's draw this from there. Two legs up, try to go once, twice, three times, possible triple test. I've taken triple tests like this before and they've lost because what it's more than a triple test is congested. So I wouldn't trust a triple test like this. 1, 2, 3. It may come down, but I just wouldn't trust it. Depends. It's a very bearish day, so it may work, but that for me is risky. There's going to be people picking bottoms here for sure after this big move down. So again. See if we get a little bit of a pullback on here. This thing is, we've got a leg up, we got a leg and a leg, a leg and a leg. So we could get another leg and a leg. We could just get a bigger, wider correction here. Let's have a look here. So that might encourage some shorts. So let's see if we get a pullback. But it's also a leg and a leg. Not quite. See if we get a bullish bar here that traps. I thought we might sort of get a kind of a breakout pullback, but it's that bloody bearish. Probably just going to continue down. Is that two legs now? Not quite. Let's see if this long gets trapped. Let's get this out of the way. Trouble is, leg and a leg, leg and a leg. Could go up some more. It's such a bearish day though. Okay, so that bullish bar has triggered. Oh, it's tempting, but it is a leg and a leg. It's just risky in my opinion. There's a perfect leg and a leg down there. Not quite.
Order submitted.
I don't know. What's the size of it? If I get it on the nail, it's 2-point risk. I'm not sure about this. Oh. Didn't quite get me anyway. Just a bit risky, I think. How far did it go? 3 points.
Order cancelled.
Yeah, just wasn't sure. Friday low support. There's a few took it. Thomas Wade took it. I don't know, something I just didn't like about it. It did work for the points. Who took it? Thomas Wade took it. Did he get out? He hasn't out yet. Oh yeah, he is. Tell a lie, he's out. Is that a better option? Not for me. No. Just didn't like it. Yeah, Marco left it. Taylor left it. Thomas Wade took it. I ummed and ahed about it. What I liked about it is we got a couple of measured legs and a bullish bar that's triggered. This market seems so bearish. There's liquidity there for sure. It did work. If you took it tick below, you comfortably got out for 2 points. It went for 3 anyway, so well, you'd have got out for 2 points easy enough. It may continue down, but it's, I don't know, do we open that out and extend it now a bit or what? That bullish bar there, I expect that to get taken. Could just, I mean, we've got a correction there, haven't we? It could just keep coming down. See if we get a second entry show. I don't know. I'm not sure. Tough one. It is a tough one. Let's have a look what we got back here. Yeah, I did say we got some support here. I probably expected a little bit lower down, but we've pushed through the top stuff. I would say this is, could just continue down this thing. But I'd expect a bigger correction. There you go. I think the thing going for that is that it trapped the bull bar. Review anything will be nicely in place, especially the short track. Yeah. There's going to be some liquidity there, you think. A couple of legs down, big move up. Let's see if it breaks below there. Yeah, I'm denied about that one. See, after this overshoot, although I've extended it, after this overshoot and a push up, there may have been some buyers there, and when we sort of hit that level, we had a quick push down, so this thing's just going to seem to keep going, I think. It's such a bearish day. Perhaps I should, well, I did put an order in there, but it never came back. It did eventually, but that's after that move there, so it's kind of a bit late then. See if we get a break. So yeah, Thomas has extended his to there. So it's continuing on down by the looks of things. Let's see what happens when it gets to here. I'd like a little break here. Yeah, it's a fair old move. Got to be 75 points, isn't it? 72, not far off. I don't think it'd be long. Okay, excuse me for just a quick second. Okay, so working in the channel again. We've broken the lows again. We just keep getting lower and lower, don't we? Yeah, so I think the thing going for that was it was kind of a breakout pullback, wasn't it? We had a couple of legs down, may have trapped some longs there, and eventually worked. Down a little bit, then a bit sideways, and then we had that quick drop, and you've got your points there. It's such a bearish day. I think that's probably why it might have been worth going. So, but it did work. But the trouble is, if you don't feel right, best thing to do is just to leave it. It doesn't matter who goes into it, really. I mean, if Mac was in it, then I may just decide to copy him. But I tend to come far enough now to make my own judgment. And I saw Thomas was in it and someone else, but I ummed and ahed about it, and I did put an order there, and it never came back anyway. So, but I think that's what it's got going for it. It just break out, then it pulls back, traps along there, possible long, 2 legs down, correction up, 2 legs down. It could have come towards the top, but big bearish bar right on the channel. Like Max says, sometimes whenever you get a big bearish bar on a channel in a strong day, you might as well just short it, but I ain't shorting that. See if we get a second entry short here. I'll be surprised if it even does push any much higher. Come on, get up there. It's just struggling to get above it, yeah? There's a little double bottom there. I mean, this thing's that bearish, but that to me, I don't like taking them that far from the EMA, even if it is in the channel. Still risky in my opinion. It probably worked that how bearish a market is. It is a second entry short, but not for me. It didn't form anyway. Oh, straight up. So if you did take that one, it stung you. Okay, let's see what happens now. One attempt higher, second attempt higher. Let's have a look. Oh, we're getting a bigger correction now. Okay, see, we want to see what happens now. Let's just check there isn't some form of a range here. No. Where's this boy going then? Okay, stop there. Let's see what happens. You could say small break there. Tight channel. Little break. Can adjust that ever so slightly, and I think it would still fit. Yeah, I think that looks okay. Let's see what we do from here. So channel break. Yeah, I love that. He's just done that right after me. So I like it with his way of thinking. Is the same as me. Okay, that's knackered it. Okay, so we have got, so you could say 1, 2, 3, you could say a triple test, possible triple test. We are losing a little bit of momentum there. Can we take that up any higher? Yeah, we can. Still works okay for me. At the top of something. We need to get through that EMA really. You just can't take a punt here really. Could come back, push up. It could turn or do something a little bit crazy. Come on, let's get a little second entry short or something. Mm. So I want a couple of attempts to go higher here. That's no good for me. In case we get a leg and a leg. It is kind of a couple of legs up, isn't it? Need a second entry short. I'd have liked that bull bar there to trigger. Come on, come back a bit first. Come on, give us a bull bar and trigger it. Come on, push up, you bugger. Come on, push, push. Up, up. See if that is a channel. We've come right to the bottom. We've made a new low. We've hit this again. So if you put that back, it's, I don't know. Maybe that is an overshoot. We have a bigger correction. Trouble is, you make the wrong decision. You're buggered. You lose a trade. And I ain't losing a trade today. So it's going to have to give me something a little better than that. Bullish bar, come on, and then trigger. Second entry long, trigger. Come on, bullish, bullish, come on. Needs to be a little bit better failure than that, really. Trouble is, depending on what you think of that, we've already had a break in a new low. You could say there's a bigger channel there. Maybe there is. Maybe there isn't. Maybe we have a leg and a leg. I'm just not comfortable with this. Not only that, We're already at the bloody lows anyway, so. What can you do? I was expecting a correction up here at some point. Two attempts to push lower. I don't like this. 2 legs down. We've got to get a bigger correction, or at least a break of this bigger channel, haven't we? The biggest downtrend we've seen for a long while. Can't remember the last time we had something like this downwards. It's just been up, 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 hasn't it? I still think it'll go down some more, but the only place you can really short it, in my opinion, or safe to, is here. Or up here now. Maybe a quiet day today in the world of trading. Not a lot. That's not very exciting, is it? Let's give it some colour. Indigo. There we go. So we got a channel with a break. Pushes down to a new low. Trying to go higher once, try it twice. Fail. Push strongly through the MA. A little bit of a pullback and a bounce here. So the only place I want to go short is possibly here, but ideally here. I mean, we've had this, if it is rangy, it kind of is. We've had this little sort of breakout, and so many times we get one here, we'll get the same one back there, but it just could not get back over that line. So that tells me it's definitely way more bearish. So are we even going to get up here? We got to that line, not to the top. We got 1, 2, 3 up here. This time we hit that line. So it'd be interesting to see how high we get here before we possibly move down some more. But if you look at that as the bottom, we are sort of coming away there. So maybe I don't know, maybe we might get some sort of correction. I think we need some kind of bigger correction or a break from this channel. Okay, maybe some liquidity there, so I think that's likely. Yeah, okay, and let's see what happens now. Possible second entry short. See what it happens when it hits this line. Interesting. Okay, I'd say that for me is a significant break. So we've come down at the lowest and we've got a leg and a leg. I mean, we can adjust it, but when you draw the line, excuse the pun. Let's get up here, see if anything's one, two, three. I don't know. Are we going to push down some more? Possible measured leg. Trouble is, every time I've drawn others, it hasn't got there. Funnily enough, that would compensate for this breakout there, which would take us just above this. Two doges. Yeah, Taylor's got his the same actually. He's just put that on. Same break at the bottom, same tops. Okay, so looks like we're going to get up here or close to it. So, yeah, channel down with a break new low, 2 legs higher, push down and made a new low, 2 legs up. Interesting, very interesting. So, there may be liquidity there, and that measured move would take us above it. Gonna break this surely. Okay, so we're above this. We've now taken out that. We've hit that measured move perfectly. And we're above it some. Is there something larger there? There may be. Surely after this we've got to fail this first breakout from here. Surely you would think so. It's quite strong though, that, isn't it? Can't take that, unfortunately. It's still in that channel. Oh, apex. Rhythmic is disappearing temporarily. See if we trap this long, get a lower high. Yeah. Possible lower high here is just way away from that. Way away from that. It is a leg, but it's just too risky, that is. Depends how you draw this channel. We may have had a break, but I think going long there just at the moment, going short there just at the moment is risky. This kind of looks almost like, on the bigger chart, it kind of looks like it's almost bottoming. So we could get a move up. And I mean, if this is a channel, we could get a reasonable size break. We could have a couple of legs up sideways and eventually work down there. Sometimes these big channels take a lot of testing. So it's just way too early to go short, I think. I won't want to go long either. Okay, so there's a second entry long off that, which is triggered. It's still, I just can't take a short there at the moment anyway. A failure there. Trouble is, we're above the EMA at the moment. It's a big bar. I ain't getting involved in that. This is clearly a break of this bigger channel, and sometimes these breaks can do some weird stuff before they move down. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes up a bit, goes sideways as a breakout, drops down, tests the low, and then works down. It does all sorts of weird stuff. I mean, that's a big channel. I'd expect a little bit more than a break like that and a drop. I mean, there is a failure, but it's just risky. I can't see many longs being in that. It's just too risky for me. I've got to stay out of this. $50-50 could go up or down. So it could be a double trap on this smaller chart here. Second entry long, triggered, stopped out. 2 legs down. Bearish bar there, failure, triggered, could push up, stop out, double trap. It's a bit congested there. Could be a leg and then up a bit. I got no idea. No idea. This is the first sort of clear break though, and I'll be surprised if you have a break like that and then push straight down for a new low. I won't be shocked if it goes sideways or goes up or does something else before it goes down. Can't trust that. Yeah, it's just too risky to take that above the EMA. It's hard to know what's going on here. We got such a big downtrend, it just doesn't seem right that we have a little break and straight down and make a new low. Sometimes this thing's got to go around the bloody planet before it draw the bigger trend again. Midline looks... Yeah, I've messed around with that, mate, to be fair. I've kind of done it, but we've only really then had one touch down the bottom. Do you know what I mean? And we've only had 2 touches on the top. Yeah, I get it. Kind of sits around the midline. I don't know. Well, this thing's coming down now, look. Just when you think it can't go down anymore. Maybe it is in there, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe it is. Yeah, we've only joined those two together. You know, it's easy to join 2 points and have a third one touch, you know what I mean? No. I think that's probably as good as we got. If you come from here, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 touches. That's a break. Looks like he's pushing down to new low. The trouble is, sometimes as big as these channels, whenever you get a break, it'll push up, go up a bit more, go sideways, have a breakout, come down and have a retest. It does a lot of that. It doesn't often just break and then make a new low straight away. But it's kind of such a bearish market, isn't it? That maybe it's just still struggle with the range days. Yeah, take advantage of these days by holding more points. Yeah, I agree with that. On days like this, if you do get a setup, you know, maybe if you took a, let's say you had a failure there or something, yeah, it's definitely worth holding on for more points. I have that same sort of thing, but we don't often get really good, strong trend days. And the trouble is, when we do, half the time we don't get a damn setup. But yeah, I agree. If you can get a setup, definitely worth going for some points, 6, 8 points, whatever. You know, if you can get 4 times the amount of profit, for sure. You know, I haven't done hard about that. I think 1 or 2 took it. Marco didn't. Not Marco. Thomas didn't. He did say he was considering it, but he never took it. Taylor didn't take it either. The bit I don't like about it is if this channel, I think, fits pretty well so far. It's such a nice, and that is a clear break. So I wouldn't be that keen to come back down and make a new low so soon, especially when it's a little bit congested and it could just come down and bounce and then push up a bit. We could have a leg and a leg, then sideways, and you know. So I think out of experience, the more time you mess up at this and the more you learn, you kind of get a feeling of what feels comfortable and what doesn't. You know, I pretty much I either know I'm going to take it or I'm going to stay away from it. Sometimes I'm a little bit indecisive, but it's just one of those things, isn't it? And also sometimes, you know, over time and experience, the one time you do decide to get in, it turns, and it's getting a little bit congested and a bit sideways now. So things can change a bit, but having said that, it's clearly congested here. So perhaps that's just a standard failure. I mean, ordinarily, if we're in a range day, you probably consider a failure like that. But the bit that's put me off, it's not a normal range day this year, is it? It's actually a downtrend day. We're just doing a bit of sideways in this. And a lot of the time we will go sideways, pick up a line here. So maybe it is something larger. A lot of time we'll do that. You know, we'll continue sideways till we hit. We'll start off on the bottom lower corner, work up to the top right corner, confirm the channel, and then work on down. But we've only really touched it twice. If we'd have touched it a third time, I wouldn't mind so much. So for me at the moment, I think that's probably touch as good as I've got, really. We haven't made a new low yet. But yeah, sometimes these trending days can be tough. Sometimes you just don't get a setup, or we come down in, we just don't get back to the EMA until we smash through it. I think a couple of traders took that, but really for me, it's not a lower high. We got a channel. It's just a first entry. So I can't take that really. A lower high, maybe. That one, just too late. There's some support there. You're away from the EMA. You know, you just can't take it. The fact that it works irrelevant, really. And then what else have you got? You're going sideways then. Can't take nothing there. Can't take nothing there. Triple tests. It's congested shit there. You can't do nothing there. Breakout, pullback. I don't think that was a bad trade, that one. I think that was the one that Marco took. I can't see it now. I can't remember. I think that was the one he took. Oh, hello. Yeah, I think it was that one, because we went sideways, break out, pull back, trapped some longs maybe. In fact, I remember I measured that as a measured leg, and it did come down, and it went sideways a little bit, and then had that quick drop, took out any liquidity there, which gave it a quick point, and you'd have got your money there. So I don't think that was a bad trade, but it is still a little bit congested. He took it. I think I even put an order in, but it was probably too late then. But it's just one of those things, isn't it? We've got an auction coming up, haven't we? Medium impact. What time is it? Wow, long day for me today. Yeah, we got a medium impact auction coming up. Isn't it a bond auction? So lucky, yeah. We started having these, didn't we, a month or two ago? I'd never seen them before. All I had to learn to do this was to forget the 99% win rate. Yeah. Strong trend days. I'm okay with taking this amount of loss, yeah. Yeah, we just don't often get days like this with a big... Mind you, we had a strong move there, but I think I was probably... was I finished by then? I don't know. That was a pretty strong day, wasn't it? The trouble is there anything there? Not a lot. I'll tell you which one I would have taken for sure was that one. That one, I actually don't think it was a bad trade because it was two nice legs, but we got a nice channel up. The higher low I would have taken for sure, and that would have worked. But yeah, if you don't mind a little bit of... When my accounts grow a little bit larger and I can afford to say, okay, I'm in for 1.5 points. Once they get above that 2600 drawdown, it doesn't matter whether they go up 10 points and come down and take me out for break even. It doesn't affect me on the drawdown. So once I get a bit higher, if I take 1.5 risk there on such a strong trending day, then yeah, I'll probably follow it up from there and then maybe there and try and grab some more, because I think it's worth, you know, if it is a strong trending day, you can get into a good strong setup. You know, usually when we come back to there, we get another good move then. But I was done by then, which is a real shame, because I like that. Two lovely legs down, push above the EMA, and it a little bit sideways, but it clearly worked. Couple of legs back and off again. But yeah, shame about that. I think if it continues like this, not getting lots of setups, I'm going to finish 5:30 UK time, go and have me dinner, and then I think I'm going to start coming back and trading for another sort of hour and a half-ish. Because if I'm missing trades, sometimes when I do have a look later, I see people like Taylor and Thomas Wade trading up to, you know, trading another 2 or 3 hours after me. So it used to zonk me out, but it kind of doesn't anymore. I feel just as fresh as when I started. So what I think I may do, where are we today? Thursday. What I'm going to do from Monday is I'm going to have my dinner for an hour, say 5:30, 6:30, and then come back till 8. My opinion is that Mac taught everyone to trade like an abused person. So I'm so afraid of a loss because it teaches you, yeah, you win rate. The win rate doesn't even matter if you're good about, yeah. Just capitalise on these days, yeah. Not a huge amount of setups, unfortunately. But if you can get into one, yeah, worth having. So that breakout pullback, you know, even if you follow them down per bar, I don't think that's a bad thing. You know, if you get your points down here and then take your stop down each bar and each bar, you'd have got stopped out there, say, for 5.25 points. So on days like this, I don't even think swings matter. That was the low anyway, but just follow down each bar, you'd have got 2.5 times your normal profit there. But I think when my accounts get a little bit more comfortably larger, I will start holding on, because so many times you see these big moves and we take such a small fraction. If we'd have got a decent setup there, see, and you'd have waited sort of from your points, you'd have got out here, wouldn't you? So if you follow down each bar to about there, you'd have got 10.25 points. That's the equivalent normally of 5 trades. I'd be happy if I got that in a week and a half. So I don't think it's a bad strategy, that in strong days, just following it down each bar and just trying to grab as much as you can. But yeah, unfortunately, if there'd have been a nicer setup there, I may have had a go at that. But same again, it's a bit choppy there. If we'd have got a second entry short there, but it was a bit choppy. It came down for a bit, but not long. But yeah, on day, yeah, the big trending days, and you kind of know when they are. Every time we go down, we have a break. We just keep going down and down. You're wider and wider your channel. But yeah, so I don't know what's going on here. We've pushed down. We've made a new low. Are we going to bounce now? We're going to continue down some more. It's funny, actually. Just out of curiosity one day, go through his charts. I went through his charts about 4 or 5 months ago, and I think over the space of a couple of weeks or something like that, week, 10 days, whatever it was, I think he marked 105 trades. 102 of them made over 2 points. And when I say over, I mean at least 2.25 points. So it still shocks me why he only takes a point. I'm flabbergasted. Surely he must see these moves go more and more and more. Why doesn't he take more points? Go for 2 points. You know, things aren't the way they used to be. You can't, you know, it's rare you can get a trade now with tick above and below for 2 points. Most of the time, it's, I mean, at the moment, you'd be talking 2.75 points at least. So we've had a leg down and a break. We've come back up to the EMA, another bearish bar. Unfortunately, I just can't take that because we've made a new low. It's just getting a bit confusing now. It could bounce here. So I'm done for today, folks. But yeah, from Monday, I'm going to come back for another hour and a half. So I'll leave my stream on Monday. It is a tough day, mate. Yeah, you took anything, Sam, have you? There is one that I ummed and ahed about. That one there, that breakout pullback. I know Thomas Wade took it. And it is a strong day, so perhaps that's maybe an indicator. You haven't took anything. It's, you know, sometimes, you know, when I started learning to trade, a currency trader, we'd be trend traders. We'd look for trends. We'd find a strong currency against a weak currency. But sometimes these trending days can be the most difficult trades to take, to trade. You know, I used to hate ranges, but what I will say, at least when we bounce off the bottom, you can look for a higher low, and so on. There is a possible lower high there, but I don't like that strong push-up. After that, and a break and a new low. Risky, that. Every time I say it's risky, it comes down some more, but it doesn't change the fact that it's sideways. But yeah, it is. You know, when you get a bit more experience, sideways aren't as frustrating. You tend to think, you know, the trend's your friend and all this. Sometimes the trend can pull you out of trouble. Whereas when it's ranging, it kind of shows the true you. You woke up late again. It kind of shows the true you. But if you get used to ranges, and you get triple test, I always find out if they're trapping a bull bar here, as long as you've had 2 legs and it's broken above it and trapped a bull bar, they work pretty well. And you've got lower highs from the top and higher lows from the bottom, so that there does tend to be more opportunities, I think, on a range day. Whether that's just because, you know, I spent more and more time now trading range days. They kind of come with the territory, really, don't they? So I am done, folks. To get another pair before. Yeah, good on you, mate. You're off to Dublin, are you? Oh man, I had one of my worst hangovers ever in Dublin. I went on a works do there about 7 or 8 years ago. We were drinking Murphy's on the boat from 11 o'clock in the morning, and we finished about 4 o'clock the following morning. It's the worst hangover I've ever had. And there's nothing worse than having a hangover when you're on a boat. There was people on their hands and knees throwing up all over the place. It wasn't pretty. Right, we're getting a little bit of movement now. It's that bond, isn't that bond auction? Yeah. It's quite a bearish bar that's triggered there, but I'm staying out of this. I am done. Yeah, we got this bond auction, so that's where we're having a couple of flutters. But yeah, I think, cheers, Sam. Appreciate that, mate. From Monday, I'm going to start coming back for another hour and a half. I am. Right. Yeah, it takes a bit. I think what it is you tend to go a bit slower because you know there's a lot more at stake. And I think when you eventually, get your account up, you can relax a bit more. I went down to one contract. Yeah, anytime, bud. You're part of the family, mate. Yeah, I went down to one contract for a while, but I found it just relieved a bit too much pressure, and I got a little bit careless, I think. So I quickly identified that, and I came back onto two contracts, and I think it was the day before yesterday, took a nice 2-point trade. And I'd also love to trade all 20, but I just can't trust Rhythmic. If something goes wrong, and it only happens to a bunch of us, and I end up losing all 20, I'm screwed. I'm not coming back from that. That'll mentally do me in. Yeah. Yeah, I think two contracts gets the account up, and look at that, still going down. Gets the account up to a nice level. Otherwise it can take too long, and I think it just adds that little bit of pressure. And I think really, if you're under a bit of pressure, I think sometimes people operate the best. I tend to. So yeah, it tends to work better for me. Otherwise, it seems to take forever. And I know you shouldn't rush these things, but once these accounts get up, and they will, they'll grow. It may take another month, 2-3 months. I don't care. That doesn't matter. But once I can grow them, and the plan is to get to 3,000 and just take a $500 payment from each of them, and then hopefully take a $500 from each of them every month, and then whatever I make on top of that will continue to grow. But there you go. Yeah, so from Monday I'm going to come back. I'll leave the stream up. I'll take an hour for lunch, for dinner, and then I'll come back, because there are some trades that I would have taken. There was one last night that I'd have jumped all over, so I don't want to miss these trades, and I don't get tired like I used to. Change, use, improvement. Yeah, thanks, mate. It is constantly 2 steps forward, 1 step back, but I'm in that realm now where I'm moving forward, but at a slower pace. And I think the pace will probably increase the more I get used to trading this amount and the more the accounts grow. But it is, isn't it? It's very, very tiny little baby steps. But each time you do take them, you're moving forward. But, compared to where I was a year or two ago, I'm kind of a world apart, aren't I? But I wouldn't have been able to sit here for 3.5 hours and not take a trade. And it I'd have been itching to take a trade and a whiskey tonight. Yeah, I've had one for a few days. I've been drinking a bit much lately. I've been going through a bottle every kind of week and a half, 2 weeks. It's very easy to finish the day and have a couple of 3 doubles. I don't use the moving average because there is no DMA. I'm not sure what you mean there, bud. I'm stumped. Anyway, I'm going to go and catch what's left of the cricket. I think England are absolutely thrashing the West Indies, so let's have a look. Yeah. West Indies, yeah, we're getting thrashed. They're never going to come back from that. So that's it, folks. So, yeah, from Monday, I'm going to trade for another hour and a half in the evening. I'll leave me stream and I'll just pop back. But there's not a lot of trades around at the moment, and I tend to wait for the good ones, so it makes sense if I can get an extra hour and a half a day. Hour and a half, that's an extra 5 to 7 hours a week. So that may produce another couple of trades, hopefully. So there you go. So that's me done for the day. So I appreciate your comments. Big move down. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a lot further. That could just be a correction. I wouldn't be surprised if this thing continues in a spiking channel. I wouldn't be shocked if we get 100 points down today. So whether it's, I don't know, who knows. But there you go. That is me done. I am sorted. I love you and leave you. I'll be back same time tomorrow. Friday tomorrow, isn't it? Is it Friday? My God, another week gone. Streaming can be a lot of work on its own. I don't mind. And actually, I actually would feel strange. If I ever do trade when I'm not streaming, it actually feels a bit weird. It's because I've been doing it for so long now. I've been doing it for well over a year and a half. It does look like we may be working down again, but yeah, it kind of feels kind of like weird without it. But there you go. Right, if you carry on trading, best of luck. I hope you've had a good day. And I'll be back same time tomorrow. So have a great evening. Stay safe. And I will see you all tomorrow. Bye for now.